about put it on. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, wherever.
My people, where you at? Where you at? Wake up from your slumber. Stop sleeping. Whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your. Come on, come on, come on. I know you're sleeping now. You gotta wake up some more, yeah? Okay, let's go. The people who us, the people lie to us. The government betray us. So much. I said they lie. The people who us, the people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they go knock the phone. I said we tired with their lies. We tired with their promises that led us to all our damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed, and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrate us. So why did you lie? Why did you steal? Why did you allow the citizens to be? You see, we just tell you that's why we voted you. But you fool us, you screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. So much. I said they lie. The people fool us, the people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they go knock the phone. I said no one to trust. My people, no one to hope on. Nobody. My hope that I have been broken. I'm telling you, brother. So where are the schools? Where are the roads? Where are the jobs that they say they could afford? But they're too selfish. The people tired with their rhetoric. People tired, they tired. You see the reason why we ask why the government betray. They have enough of time, but yeah, then instead they delay. People suffer. No work for people crying for hunger. Look at. Your vision and your mission, your intention to the nation, they poor. You got nothing to show. Nothing. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. So much. I said they lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they go knock the phone. With their promises that led us to all our damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed, and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrate us. So why did you lie? Why did you steal? Why did you allow the citizens to be? You see, we just tell you that's why we voted you. But you fool us. you screw us. You use us and little abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. So much. I said they lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they will not go for us.
My name is Jamal Kamara, live from the city of Manchester. Tonight, we have to discuss some issues that are making headline in Liberia and around the world. To discuss these issues, I have with me tonight special guests, good friends and colleagues as well. All the way from Sweden, Mr. Francis Monomensa. How are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm doing good, Jim. Compliments of the season and
Thank
happy
you.
holidays. I'm doing well. I assume you guys, had a festive time in London,
Mhm.
in the United Kingdom.
Right, right. Thank you. And also all the way from the King, how to call it, the city of London. Paul know how to call it. He's the friend of King Charles, Mr. The Lord Paul to the place with us tonight also to discuss what is burning in Liberia. And we'll be bringing you the highlights. What's going to go? You don't go away. We'll tell you the topic and we'll tell you what will be going deeper. Paul, how do you say?
First of all, I want to say season greetings to everyone. This is the Lord Cholope from the United Kingdom, the friend of King Charles. So we're going to go deep into Mama Liberia and other training issues. Gentlemen, welcome to the bottom line. And to our viewers that all with us want to say Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year. Welcome to the bottom line and kindly help us to share the show. Gentlemen, tonight, what are we diving into? So before you guys start the discussion, let's tell our viewers what we'll be looking at tonight. There's training things have been happening in Liberia. And guys, I just want to break an announcement here. I will be contesting for the senatorial of Monserrato County come 2029. I'm going to challenge Darren DeLong. And based on that, it's topic going to start from here tonight. Jamal, take us home on this. You muted.
The main topic tonight will be like we're looking at the paradox of political promises, analyzing the gap between the political rhetoric and the reality in Liberia's leaders' fight against corruption. We're going to look at some statements been made recently over the years. We want to see compare somehow we understand how we analyze these words. Do they mean what they're saying, or is it we do not know how to interpret these words? So we'll be looking at these statements now. That will be our main topic tonight to be discussed. Other issues are there, but let me let you know that we got eyes on the cake tonight. Like we did it the last time. We told you about the most higher paid African player, which was an Algerian player. This time I want to go to somewhere in Africa now to tell you somebody that is probably you've heard it. But anyway, we'll take this down and other issues we'll be discussing tonight. Paul, let me go back to Mr. Francis before we go to the issues tonight. We know that something's burning in Liberia right now. We're going to talk about it. It's the talk of town. I know before going to it, like you saw like the big names on our flyer. The president himself, Honorable His Excellency President Joseph Yuma Baka is there, and he's there also our Honorable Senate Representative is Magil is there, and Nathaniel Magil is there, and our former Vice President, Dr. Dakpana Chief Joe Howard Taylor is there as well. So we'll be discussing the issue, but I want to take time to tell Mona, could you please welcome those who join us now? They will take us through.
Francis? Well, see, Baptiste.
Francis, not here. Francis, we might welcoming some of our viewers that join us right now. If you hear me,
Yes,
Francis.
from my board, I only see two persons. I see Jadelia Brown Chopley, and Bataki Izinata. Some,
Okay, then. Thank you. I think many other from other channels, other handles, we got a lot of people joining us anyway. So we'll go through. We want you to be part of this show. If you have any other questions to ask, please feel free to drop your questions. If you have comment, feel free. If you want to make a call, let us know. We'll make our line available so you can talk to us. But now let's go straight to the point. Tonight,
Before
Paul.
we get to the point,
Mhm.
Siddiqui should be joining us on the
All right.
platform today as well, to make it more something. So now you can flow
Sidiki
them
is
out.
joining us from Rwanda. It's our brother who is in Rwanda right now. Will be joining us. You'll be one of our, let's say, co-panelists just to share the show and discuss the issues on what we're on our agenda tonight. So if Sidiki is joining us, we'll let you know. But you'll be coming soon probably. And also tonight we don't. I think our colleague Linfo may be joining us. We're not sure. If Linfo is around, he'll be joining us. He's one of our co-hosts as well. But tonight we have powerful people in the house. The most powerful president of Europe is in tonight, with Mr. Mensa as well tonight, as well as the friend of the King Charles. They are with us tonight. So we're going to be discussing. So be part of the discussion, Paul. Let's take us through. What is ice on the cake tonight, Paul?
Before Paul go, Paul, I mean, wait 1 minute. I see we got Samuel Yossin, we said from Germany is here as
Okay.
well.
Okay.
Young brethren Liberians in in
All
Germany.
right. Sam,
Congratulations.
welcome.
He got married.
Mm. All
And
right. Congratulations, Samuel. And Merry Christmas to all of those who've been following us. And then this is the last show of December. Is that right, Paul? Or will be, is that correct? No?
That's
no,
correct.
we
That's
got,
the last
yeah.
for December. It's yeah.
That okay.
No,
So
no,
we made
no, no,
no this.
no. It's not the last show. We got another before January.
All right, so
On
we'll be giving
Tuesday,
probably.
on Tuesday is New Year Eve, buddy. What are you talking about?
My
Brother
man,
is taking out. That's an Eve. A lot of people go out with family members. So I don't think we want to. We don't know yet, but whatever the case may be, we'll be giving you a round of our years for the 2024. What did we do? The highlights of 2024. We should be doing it tonight because of some technical reason we couldn't do it. So if we come on Tuesday, next Tuesday, we'll be giving the roundup, the total, the highlights of 2024. But Paul, tell us, don't keep our people waiting. What do you got for them tonight as the icebreaker tour? Tell me,
so
who is
before we let them know, this is the topic for tonight to our audience. Jamal, this is the topic. We'll be
Yes, I
diving
think I
into
went through it, Paul. I just told them
yeah.
the
So
paradox of political
those
promises.
for
What is
those
what
who
our
just
politicians are
joining,
saying? Are they really meant? Do they really mean what they are saying, or are we don't know what they are saying? How do we interpret what they are saying? So you get if you know how to interpret, please help us. Some of us are not native English speakers, so these are the most powerful presidents here tonight with us. So you help us to interpret these words for us because I think he grew up in English country. So some of us just came from a village. We don't know how to understand these languages. So he may help us to interpret these words for us.
well,
Or some of our politicians. Anyway, Paul.
well, being a friend of King Charles that
Mhm,
live in the Queensland where the language English come from, I
mhm.
might be able to help you guys to narrow the interpretation. I won't be speaking Grobo or Crown or Mandingo. I will be speaking English. So we
Okay.
will dive into it. So yes. So Jamal, there's something happening in East Africa, and this is what
Okay.
happened before we get to our main topic tonight. And this is a brilliant 26-year-old girl who now become a minister in one of. And the question is, will they happen in our country, Liberia? Jamal, talk to me on this clip here. Who is this beautiful woman here? Talk to our
All right.
audience.
Okay. I think we if you may have known who is this lady, we just want to go from the start. This is one of us talk about. There's a country called Botswana. I want to go to Francis. Francis, what is the information on these people? I think Botswana is doing well. The guy they call Duma Buko, president was 26, 34, and 37. These are the ministers. So, Francis, what's your information on these? What's happening in Botswana, the youngest cabinet in Africa? What's your information so far?
Well, I mean, I've not really been
You
following
not
that.
hearing me?
We all been involved with
Okay.
Christmas
All right. Okay, it's all right.
festivities.
I told you here. Fine. No, anyway, just a little bit of. Well, we want to talk about Botswana, the newly elected president. He that was November 11, just last month. He's 54 years old. So we want to talk about one key person that is an attraction. We want to bring it to your attention. This person, This is a lady called Lisu Chombo. She's 26 years old. She's Antony, a law. She's a politician. She's a minister of gender, you and it's a youth and gender. So this lady, the question is, why is it so important? You guys are talking about this lady. Probably we want to know. We talk about a lot of that. Well, we talk a lot about this. The children, the youth are the future for tomorrow. So is this something like we're doing in Liberia? Probably I'm making a mistake. You guys would know that what's happening in Liberia. The last government was George Weah government. I think one of the youthful government we ever had. I don't know if anybody proper minister or 26 years old. So if I'm making a mistake, I'm stand to be corrected. Gentlemen, help me out here. Let's talk about why we talk about the youth at this generation, the future. Why are we not giving a chance to take the lead? And this lady is a 26-year-old. She's a Antoni. She's a lawyer, graduate in law. She has a law school. I mean, sorry, she got a law an office. She's got a law office. She got her own practicing office. She's also a politician, and she's Miss World as well as Miss Africa. So very talented woman. Gentlemen, I may be making mistake here. Tell me who Liberia has ever had as the youngest minister, proper minister. I mean, I've not been around for too long. So Paul and Francis, you can help me out here. What is happening in Liberia? I just want to compare Liberia to that of Botswana.
Wow, Jamal, this is fascinating story for Liberia. I don't know if we'll have a younger person to be minister proper, but I know
Mm,
under the early government, there were young people that were deputy assistant, but to be minister proper at that age of 25, 26, I have not heard that in my left. That maybe the audience could help us too. And one of the
right.
maybe it could be a reason behind it that Liberia may not have people but I know if Liberians are in a diaspora could put up people. I know there was a young 22 or 23-year-old boy running for the state seat in America. So if because of the opportunity like that, imagine this woman graduated from university at the age of probably 2022 and she went into parliament. Now she's minister. But in Liberia, people graduate from university at the age of 35 because the university always closed. So how do you get young people to be like this woman? This is the problem we face with. University of Liberia today, they closed. When I graduated from high school, people who graduated from university at the time, some of them were in their 40s. It always closed from time immemorial. So we cannot
Mhm.
produce people like that. So this is the problem. That's why Liberia may not produce young people. And not if they produce the young people too, what happened, Jamal? The young people they now become the single fan of be following somebody and be singing muya muya. They don't
Mm.
have the chance to get into parliament. So this is what Liberia faced with. Francie, I don't know. Have you heard any young person to be in a high ranking position before?
No, I mean that is it's very real. It's very unreal for Liberia to. I've never heard that. I know President Taylor appointed this kid. It was some youth representative that all you can have that the closest you can get to the presidency in terms of serving a country. Youth representative or something to the president was the what's his name Ben Salvi. I don't know other
Oh
president.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's correct.
Yeah, but at
I
the
think it was
closest,
asking to him, right, or something on youth, some issue, something like that.
yeah.
Was
So
it?
that's the closest you can get to the presidency. But the thing is that look, we have our political ecology is such that we we look out, or maybe I won't say look out or look up to old guys. We always have people from the old school regime coming in the government. Look at this government. It's the same. A lot of old people. The same what they brought back. I mean, they made all the young people assistant ministers and this and that. But 85% of the people in ministerial positions and as I know, yeah, in ministerial positions are old guys, and then a few SOE states, the state enterprises. That's got some younger guys there, but I don't know. I mean, probably we might get there sometime, but I don't really think so. about
Well, uh, Francis, Paul made a lady some comment there. What are you, something like you said, by the age of 35, you are the universal Liberia. This lady graduated in an early age from the University of Botswana as a legal person, as a lawyer. Now, she went to practice law and she's practicing law and she became a beauty queen. She went to represent Botswana in Miss Universe, and she won Miss Universe and she became Miss Africa as well. So will those lay the structures in place? We don't have that in Liberia. And on top of that, Botswana has free education. So, and the government put the facilities in place for structures in place for students or the citizens to enjoy this free education. We don't have such in Liberia. So, what you expect at some age, you struggling to even get money to pay your way to university. If you pay, government have free education. Look what happened in Fendel right now. There were buses going from Fendel from main campus to the Fendel campus. They don't have buses. Most of them don't have money. So, before we talk about getting to age, we don't have the structure in place. Am I correct?
Oh, definitely correct. There's no doubt that we are lagging behind, in terms of education and the infrastructure and the system, the right system, to put into place. Uh, every year we see our national budget being passed. The president office and he bunch of his surrogates at the House of Representatives or the Capitol Hill. They take the bulk of the money. Education, healthcare. We don't see anything go to.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you're
So
right.
it's the
Well,
one.
yeah, you're
Our
right about
budget
that.
is shared between the president and the guys up the hill.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're right. Paul, you were looking at the like youth programs happening at the youth and sport as well as Ministry of Education. But if you look at the budget right now, there was an issue when they said somebody finger or somebody temper with the budget. Some funds were taken from I think Health Ministry or Ministry of Education. And the budget, if you compare the budget, I hope in this on this platform we'll be discussing the national budget that has been passed. We'll be looking at how much being allocated to the Ministry of Youth and Sports as well as education. Because if you look at it, those departments, those various ministries handle youth programs. We don't know. I know the budget from the security from the other areas will be more higher than that of those areas that we should be putting more in money into. But you've been watching the past, you've been following things in the past. How you been looking at the youth development? I think we had before Abba Maware, who worked as one of the directors at the youth and sport. You were telling us about the budget at the ministry. Those days were very, very little. They couldn't even run anything. So they were struggling to salvaging funds from here and there to keep the ministry running. So how will we have people like this coming up in Liberia? We don't have the opportunity for them.
Because our government decided to not develop the youth. I give example, take the pro tem or the speaker money and put it into the youth ministry, you see difference. The pro tem, the speaker, the vice president, and president, their budget is bigger than the youth ministry. So think on it. Just one of them money you take and put it in youth, there'll be major changes among our young people, but it's not the case. They deprive them. And there's a reason behind it. I said it earlier. They rather the kids being behind them, singing the song, they call them meditant to be muya muya, or give them money to go and call radio station when someone talking about them to come and say something good about them. So they don't have interest in developing the youth. So when we talk about Liberia, say the future is in the, we should look at the youth. It's not there in Liberia. That's why your university is closed today. They're looking at some old person that come from the 1962 graduate when LU was not LU to be his president. And then you expect some sort of, changes. No, nothing going to happen. So that's it is where it is, Jamal. Until we find people who have that mindset that look, we should deprive ourselves and put the benefit in the children. They will benefit instead of us benefiting at this age. For example, if you may be minister or something, it should be my retirement just there to help the next generation, not to milk the system. Until Liberia gravitate towards that, our youth will do better.
Okay, well, gentlemen, someone will argue that youth are inexperienced. If you gave them a minister job, a proper minister job, okay, they may have a problem to blunder, like what happened in the Weir government. They were allowed youth deputy minister, assistant ministers. They were there around, but if you gave them a job as a proper minister with the age and inexperience, there'll be a lot of problems. What do you think you can? How will you respond to that? I'll go to Francis first.
No, first, I want to know what's this beautiful lady, her position, her job, which job she has.
She's now the minister of youth and gender in Botswana.
Well, I'll tell you this. The problem with of Liberia, I will speak about Liberia, is that look, most of these positions are administrative positions.
Mhm.
You have the minister of the minister of an operation, and you have assistant minister of administration,
Right.
and then you have the technocrats. That where we always mess up. Every government comes to being, they take those technocrats that were trained, those guys who they are the machinery of the ministries and agencies. These people can know they are not partisans, they're just simple professionals. But we come back of a politics, we see the man driving some United Nations or or maybe World Bank or Jeep, he's going around. And then we want a position. We take one partisan, and so the whole structure fails. So that's what we need to do. We need to maintain those technocrats. I know a lot of people that went to school, government or public, went for training. Every year they went for training, and each government come, they take the guys away, put them on the bench, and bring the town criers there because everybody want job. So this little job will be easier if she has the right people around her. The technocrats who have been in the ministry for years, and I mean they will just leave her and guide her through. Simple as that.
Right. If you're just joining on this program, we're just discussing. There's a lady on the screen you're seeing right now called Lisigo Chombo. She's the Minister of Youth and Gender in Botswana. She was just appointed on the 24th of November by the newly elected president, Doma Buku, who is also 54 years. So we are talking about why this is not happening in Liberia. When you see president in West Africa, you see like Alassane Ouattara is 80, then getting to his 80. We got the president just celebrated. Our president, His Excellency Joseph Boakai, just celebrated his 80th birthday. We look around other African countries, except in Guinea, that was a coup. That I think he's in early or late 40s. But in fact, most of the African leaders are in their late ages right now. And we've seen this guy is young. And if you look at the picture right now, okay, here you will see that there's a picture here. This guy, the president, had a lot of youthful leaders running his ministry. Cabinet is Botswana, the cabinet youngest in Africa. If you look at these, we talk about the culture, we talk about youth generation, we talk about future generation, we talk about the future is in the hand of the youth. What is it that Liberia is now looking at this situation? My colleagues were looking at, yeah, okay, the deputy minister, assistant minister job. Down it's okay, put him there. But when it comes after 2-3 years, look at George Weah government. There were some guys who were now removed from their job for 6 years. Are they not qualified to get a ministerial position, like proper ministerial position? Because George Weah did not make many changes in the first 6 years. He did not. So most of those guys gained experience while they were there. Now, another thing, gentlemen, I also, before we go to the main topic tonight, I want you to tell me what we notice in Liberia when political parties win elections. They first try to satisfy their how do you call them? Their partisans.
Yeah.
Much of their how do you call them? Their supporters.
Yeah,
Then the
support us.
people. So how can we eradicate? How can we stop this thing? How can we eradicate these things? Because they are qualified people. They're the engineers. They are in any political party. They are qualified. They don't want to get in politics, but they're qualified to deliver. But now because he's not in a political party, he's not given the job. Why we are not speaking against these things? Because we notice, like I can remember during the regime of George Weah, there was I think the brother of Delon was appointed, or somebody was appointed to deputy minister of some job was given to one of the minister of transport. Because he was not seditious, he was asked to get removed and he was sacked. So if you are not part of the government, you are not part of the political party, you are not being prioritized, and you have the skills, the experience to run that particular department. How can we stop this, gentlemen?
Let me just throw in something. But we never know. African leaders. Maybe the president has something personal with this girl, so he chooses to put. Joe did it.
No, but if you look at the lady, there's another minister. I can get a list of names of this in the ministry that the guy appointed. Most of these are young men and women. They are all in the early 30s and the late 20s, and they're also
Yeah,
running
but
their departments.
maybe I would want to term it as a paradigm shift, a
Mhm.
generational shift, in the border politics of Botswana.
Mm.
Uh, but you cannot root it out. This Africa. These things happen. Uh, if you try to go deeper, you probably get some. You come across some post on the internet
Mm.
accusing this president of something with these young people. But it's a good thing to do, though.
Okay.
The power you
All right.
can.
Well, your last comment on this, then we can move on. What do you think? Well, how can we stop these parties and politics when it comes to giving job to the qualified, the more competent people in places like? Let's take Liberia as a case in point. What can you suggest?
In Liberia, it will never happen, Jamal. The reason why I say it will never happen, we copy the model of America. And
Mhm.
that is when a party comes power, they bring everyone. In Botswana, they have the parliamentarian system where you have young people go into parliament and based on their talent, they are being picked to be ministers. You see, this leader, the particular leader we show, she's not from the president party. You see, it's the talent they spot within their parliamentarians. Say, oh, this person is good. I think they can make a difference. Until we do that in Liberia, you see, in the UK here, they have a shadow government that waiting to take office anytime. In Liberia, we don't do shadow government. So if you're having a shadow government in opposition, you spot talent easily, but it's not there. So you go back to the same old recycle people. For example, you had Louis Brown few years ago at UN. Louis Brown had been nominated again to go back to UN. So who will have that experience or who will the mentor? That Louis Brown will say, okay, I'm bringing this person as my deputy just in case because time is not in my favor. I may retire tomorrow. Who would they mentor to give that experience? It's not there. And we're not
Yes.
willing to do
Yeah,
it.
yeah, right. Minister of Finance, what do you got name? Gafuan was
Gafwan.
there was Minister of Finance. He left. Then
Exactly.
we have Sylvester Grisby. Names goes on. They got people in these various ministries. It was also, but let's go back to George. We are past 6 years. He did not make any mass more changes in the government for the first 6 years. He just kept them.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
he kept them because they were paying homage. The partisans were there for him, so he decided to keep them
Yeah.
because they were paying homage to him. So he kept them in power and left qualified, competent Liberians that could fill those jobs. I'm not saying those in cities were not qualified, but there were jobs to be given to other Liberians because the government was not for cities; it was for a country. The government is for the citizens themselves. There were a lot of qualified Liberians in Liberia that are not even from outside. They're in Liberia, within Liberia, that could hold those positions. They are not in political parties. But so what they do right now, they force Liberians to go into the job, be part of a political party they don't want to be part of. Some people don't want to do politics, but with their competence, they don't want to get their easy life. I know, like my man here, Francis, doesn't want to be a politician. What he wants to do his engineer job. He qualify, he apply for the job. I mean, they should vet him well. If he goes through the vetting process, he should be given a job as a qualified Liberian. Well, he must be saying muya to a party. You must make sure you go to the president house or the minister house. You must make sure that the minister call him, must do everything possible to make sure the minister is happy before he gets the job. This is the situation in Liberia. So, guys, what I don't know, you guys, I'm not giving. I will just ask him before continuing with our main topic tonight. If you have comment, you have suggestion, please drop it in our box. We'll read it. And what do you think we can do for Liberia? Because we said the youth, Liberia's youth, the future is in the hand of the youth. So, what are we doing to help our youth to get into the process? Are we doing something better, or are we just keeping the name and just getting the youth and they're not doing anything? Because when the youth will take over? That's the question. I don't think we have seen that. I just asked my colleague on the platform right now tonight that are they aware of anybody in Liberia at the age of 26 that became a proper minister? If you know, please drop your message. Let's know. Gentlemen, Power Nest.
Yeah, Jamal, before you close on that, you know, the Liberians have a youthful population than the older generation. So Liberia should be one of those countries today that will have a lot of young people that will take the country to a next level. But we're in our 90s, refuse to get a young people chance. So what do you expect? This is the situation we face with. There's a young boy in Burkina Faso that is, I don't know what other match he performing, that he's very useful. So where become our country? So it's not there. Let's move on. We pray for our country.
Yeah, I believe, but President, we read one comment from Betaki. He says here. You want to read that for us, please? Concerning this topic we are discussing.
I mean, our women on Facebook, they are causing one another. They have graduated from the college of G's.
Oh my goodness, it's not laughing matter. What the second one says again, boss?
Looking at her hair from the toe, the lady looks too intelligent.
Absolutely.
She is.
We have this girl, Dr. Rob. I mean, I think she quite young. I think she's just in her early 30s.
Who is that?
Yeah.
Doctor for the Minister of Health.
No, Dr. Rocktail, she's teaching at London School of Economics. That's what you're talking about.
The one, the guest speaker.
Yeah. I don't think she's in her 30s, though. She might be close up. I mean, it could be, or later. Anyway, let's go to our topic, gentlemen.
Right. Okay. We'll take a break and come back, and we'll go into the main topic tonight. Tonight, we'll be looking at the rhetorics between the reality and rhetorics about Liberian politicians. Are they saying the right thing, or are they saying something we don't understand? If you know how to interpret for us, please, we'll ask you to help us. But my colleagues will help me to interpret because I'm not a native English speaker, and they'll help me to tell me how do they understand these words. Paul, let's take a break and we'll come back. Let's get into the show. Right, thank you very much. We're going to see if we can take this one down from here. Okay, guys. Thank you, guys. Tonight, we know that what has been trending in Liberia today is about statement made by our politicians. They talk about something and they mean something different, or it's being interpreted differently by other people. How do we understand that? The actual statement, people, we understand it different. That's why it is. Tonight we'll be looking at Paul. What is the topic tonight? We want to put up for viewers to see what we got tonight. Yeah, that is tonight is the topic is the paradox of political promises, analyzing the gap between political rhetoric and reality in Liberia's leaders' fight against corruption. So recently, Paul, please take it down. Recently, the president was in Lofa County, I think for the to celebrate the statuship of the county Lofa. So he made a statement. The statement he made will run the video, and the other statement of other political leaders have made. We want to understand what does that mean. People be giving different interpretation. So we'll take it from our end. If you also understand what he meant, so please tell us what you think he says. So we'll break it down. I think the English is straightforward, but some of us thinking that it's not. So Paul, if you mind, let's roll the video. Cue the video up and let's roll it out. Then anyone of you can start and tell me how do you understand what the person was saying. Paul, let's roll the video.
Want to remain corrupt and steal money? That I beg you. The money should be used to bless our people. Thank you and God.
For me, yeah.
I think you need to rerun it, Paul.
We want to encourage those who want to remain corrupt and steal money. That I beg you. The money should be used to bless our people. Thank you and God.
Right. Okay. I think the video is not that clear, but Paul, there's a translation written there. You want to put it on the screen so people can read. There's a it was translated in text. But do you have it? All right. WAPO, okay, this is the text. It says, let me make it larger here. Oh, God, here. This is the text. It says, this is a person, he was in Lofa recently, I think a couple of days ago, he was in Lofa. So this is a statement he made. We want to encourage those who want to remain corrupt and steal money. I beg the money should be used to bless our people. So this is an argument tonight. It's been all over us for the past 3 days. People are saying that person is preaching, legalizing, preaching, glorifying corrupt people. So, and we want to bring you tonight. And if you are with us tonight, I want you to share the show and also tell her what you think. But I would start with my colleague tonight. I would start with I'll start with Mr. Mensah. Mr. Mensah, what do you think with the president's statement in Lofa? What do you look at it? Tell me from your viewpoint. How do you understand this?
Look, people have been making a moon out of a hill, turning into a hill. This president's statement was very plain and simple. I don't know which context people are taking it from, but in my mind, my interpretation is that the president was saying, look, I want to encourage y'all who are big, y'all use the people, y'all use your country money for the people. Encourage y'all to stop being corrupt, use the money for the people. So in certain settings, the way you speak, the way you convey message is very important. So I want to believe that the president spoke in that manner because of where he was at the time. So, yeah, we can take on this as part of our topic tonight to discuss, but I think we have heard a lot of interpretations of this over the past couple of days. Yeah, and I don't think we got a lot of things happening in the country because this president went on the mantra of anti-corruption, and no president in his good sound mind will encourage people to steal. It makes no sense.
Right. All right. Thank you very much. Before I jump, Paul, I would like to welcome our brother and friend and colleague from the Republic of Rwanda, Mr. Sidiki Kuruma. Welcome, sir, and tell her, where are you? Is he in Kigali? Where exactly are you? Welcome to the Bottom the first time, I think. How are you, sir?
Yes, I'm doing great. Good evening, everybody. Yes, I'm Sidiki Komar. I'm studying here in Kigali, Rwanda. It's a great pleasure to be here tonight to share some perspective about what is going on in our country, Liberia. So yes, it's good to be here.
Thank you. Sidiki, I'll go back to you. I think you've been knowing what's been trending with regard to the president's statement in Lofa recently. I'll go to Paul, then you adjust yourself. Then I would like to hear from you. What do you think the president's statement? How do you analyze it? From what point do you see it? Paul, could you take this down so we can, Paul, I want to hear from you. What do you think? You just hear Francis saying that the president, people are making hail, mountain out of hail. I mean, there's no sense to it. Paul, do you hear that? So this is something you said there are more to look into to look at the statement that the president made. So what do you think about this statement? Just look at it from your own perspective. Paul, you're muted. We can't hear you.
Jamal, gentlemen, English language is not like Global or Crown or Pele. It's straightforward. Encourage, it means motivate somebody to do something simple. That is the plain, simple language he used there. Encourage, that word encourage. And after he used that statement, you cannot change encourage to something else. So the president spoke. The president went to one of the elite schools in Liberia. And when I say elite school, the school that produced most presidents, it's not like he going to G.W. Gacy or Todd Maha, he went to CWA. The president knew exactly what he was talking. He spoke English. He didn't speak Gacy, and he made it simple and clear. When somebody says something is nothing but interpretation, then if you want to interpret, we'll go back to just a few weeks ago, the burning of the Capitol building when the president spoke about hooliganism. There was no interpretation in there. He speaks English and he went to proper English school. So it's not a
Okay.
mistake. That's how I
Right.
see it. You cannot
Right.
change that language around. And
Right.
speaking on that, because this is the friend of King Charles, live in England, that's the English language. Encourage us to steal. So, guys, let me break the news here. Based on that, I'm going to contest the 2029
Oh,
senatorial.
Paul, this is not a floor. We got to pay for our advertisement here. We're going to stop you from making advert here.
Let me just learn. And because the president has encouraged us all to now steal, I'm going to join this group to steal for the people. That's
All right.
encouragement.
All
Yeah,
right then.
you're
Okay.
welcome.
Thank you very much, Mr. Krumah. Before we go, I want you to tell a little bit about where you are right now, Kigali, Rwanda, to be specific, specifically in Kigali, the capital of Rwanda. Tell a little bit about where you are and how do you feel right now, and how do you feel being away from home and then nostalgia and other stuff before you talk about the topic of tonight. How are you tonight?
Oh, great. Kigali is great. Sorry about that. Some
Mhm.
French. Yeah, so Kigali is great, and the feeling here is amazing, and it has been a great year for me since I arrived here. I actually arrived here last year, January 28th. Uh,
Mhm.
so since then, it has been a great experience. Learning new things, making new friends, and getting exposure to different environments. Being in a country that you don't need to worry about some basic needs that we worry about back home, like electricity, internet, and so forth. So here in Kigali, the security, when you are here in Kigali, you you are safe whenever you want to come to bed, whether you have your iPhone 12, iPhone 16, whatever it is, what for you is for you. Yes, there are bad people everywhere, but anybody who will harm you here in Kigali, rest assured that you can choose that person. And to just lay some big to work the issues in Kigali. So there was some time, I went to a restaurant here, I bought a food, and then time to make a payment, I went and sent a payment to another number, and then that was a mistake from my end. So the restaurant people they say, okay, you have to send out money, and then you call MTN, they will block that transaction. Maybe after a day they will send your money to you. That's the kind of system you see here. And right after I pay the people that money, and then after 2 days, I receive my money back. When I Liberia, never ever am I going to get that money again. And so so these are some of the experience that we have been able to get here. And you have opportunities when once you are ambitious, you are willing to learn. It's actually here in Kigali I came. I know that I got exposed to remote work, where you can be in another country, you even work from the UK once you have the skills, you know,
Yeah.
yeah, so it's a lot of things, and we just hope that our country can embrace, this kind of same, just small things, and in our country, we are way older than Kigali, 100 and some more years of Rwanda, by the way. But if the kind of progress these people are making, and then every time we talk, people say, oh, fought war. Yes, people also fought war, but the mindset are different. And one of the things that I noticed again, the willingness from the people of Rwanda towards towards development to support their government. There was an election recently. You don't hear about politics. The election is going on. Everybody busy doing their own thing. And then they go to the election, and then the sitting president won 99 point some more percent because of the kind of work he's doing. And there is no laws. Everybody go back to status quo. They are focused on development. The layman who don't even have money, the man is not giving excuses. I don't get money, so I'm not paying for electricity. No, everybody there, they pay for electricity, they pay for internet. And that is also contributing towards the kind of progress one that is being, is on today in Africa. But for Liberia, even our government officials who are taking 15K per month, they are stealing electricity. And what more about the common people who can't even be able to afford to feed themselves? What
Okay.
more about, you have government officials who cannot even pay their taxes. So it's a great experience here to be here.
Right.
It's very. And sometimes my big brother Paul and I, we talk. I tell him, I say, look, I'm not going back anytime soon. After we
Right.
will look for the now we'll be able to do the master.
Right.
But
Okay.
right
Yeah,
now we
Siriki, thank you very much. Thank you for that local. But I want to quickly introduce to you. Sitting on the platform tonight is our brother there. He's the president of European, Liberian Umbrella Organization Europe, called Mr. Francis Modo Mensah. He's on the platform tonight, one of our co-hosts as well. And I so want to also introduce you to him. But in the meantime, could you tell us what are you doing in Rwanda, please?
sorry, I didn't get that.
What are you doing in Rwanda? Can you tell us for the benefit of our audience?
Oh,
What are those who listen to us right now? What do you do in Rwanda right now?
I'm a student here. I study international relations at the University of
Okay.
University, and outside of my university work, I've been engaged into some tech courses which I've been able to graduate from the virtual system program of the ALX, the African Leadership Group here in Kigali. So now, as we speak, I'm a certified VA. So I can, if you're executive, you're busy, you don't have time, you need somebody to manage your email, to schedule meetings for you, to schedule your weekly activity. I can do that for you. If you have a social media page, you're looking for someone to manage it for you, I can also do that. And right now I'm out, I'm looking for something to do. It doesn't have to be like something big, but just to get the experience and stuff like that. Yeah, so basically I'm a student here actually.
Thank you very much. Thank you for that little introduction. So, okay, now let me take you back to the topic on our discussion right now. Tonight, you heard what the president said when he was in Lofa 3 days or 4 days ago regarding his encourage and steal, and well, let's encourage and steal and steal those who remain corrupt so they can use the money for the benefit of our people. What is your take on this statement, Sidiki?
Well, only for me, I think the president spoke clearly. The president meant what he said.
Mhm.
You know, you can't say corruption and then you say encourage. And then people want to come and say, this is not what the president meant to say. But the president actually spoke and it was direct that we want to encourage corrupt officials that if you want to steal, we beg you, use the money to help our people. That's a clear message. There's no interpretation for that. You cannot say corruption and then you say encourage. So the president was actually encouraging corruption. And because Liberians from Liberia and abroad, they spoke against that. Everybody was giving our opinion, and then the president had to come the next day and clarify and stuff like that. The same thing the president said, former presidential, I think, yeah, former, how they call it, presidential, I don't know, it's not presidential, but Minister of State, Natana Mangil. Mangil made similar statement during we are time, where he said when the people steal, at least they're using the money to develop the country, they're not going abroad. Nobody was giving an excuse for that. We all, even people in the president camp or part of the president party, they all criticize McGill for that. And today, because it is a unity party president, and some people want to defend that. I think this is one of the reasons our country is where it is. The president was very clear. You don't encourage corruption. You as the president of the country, you how they call it, you speak, your stand on corruption should be something that when you speak, your officials are scared. When they listen to you, they don't even want to think about doing corruption. But if you use the word encourage, we want to encourage you, to help the people when you are engaged into corruption, and then you say you want to interpret that. For me, I think the president was basically encouraging corrupt activities. And to add on to that, just a second, people close to the president are involved in corrupt activities. The Minister of State, Great Spirit, other money from NASCO, up to today, that there's no investigation. Even the inauguration committee, there was corruption. There have been no report on all those things. And so if the president come up and say, we want to encourage corrupt officials, the president is actually doing what, his officials are doing, and he is in support of that. But I'm glad that he was able to clarify, and I just hope that his stand against corruption, will be something that he will not want to encourage, for the benefit of our country.
All right. Thank you very much for that. Okay, we just talked about the Representative McGill's statement some 3-4 years ago in Banga. We have the video. We want to run that later on. But Paul, I want you to run something. Somebody made a statement in support of the president's statement, and I'm on analyzing the statement, I think, from where Francis came from. So I want you, Siddiqui and Paul, to tell me what do you think this guy is saying. Paul, will you want to run it? And this guy came from one of the noted Liberian. He's one of the recent publisher, and he made a statement about the president's statement in Banga that people did not understand what the president meant. So, Paul, can you run the video? I'll be run the audio. Let's see. It was on Spoon Talk. This is go to Spoon.
Yeah. So this audio is actually from. It's actually from Spoon Network. Is that the one you want me to run? Or the
please run that, and let me hear what Francis will say, and also Siddiqui, because there's a contradiction here. I think Francis said something, and this guy, so Francis is kind of supporting the statement this person's made. So I want Siddiqui and Paul to react to this. Okay. Is it what the president meant? Paul, please run the video.
So this is. This video I'm going to show is from the Spoon Network. It's something that happened a few days ago on the same statement. So I'm going to, I think, about 4 or 5 minute clips.
In one of the phrases there, in one portion of the Bible, I believe Jesus said, the way you treat stupid people is the way you treat me. So I will try to listen to Jesus and treat the people like I would treat Jesus with respect. Yeah? And just say, understanding sometimes is extremely limited, sometimes is contrived, and in the case of youth center, is to create hype. Because all you're doing with that, your interpretation of what Joseph Boga was saying, that all you're doing in that closing that you are doing in the first round. Because this thing is simple. He's encouraging those who want to remain corrupt. He begged, use the money for the people, use the country money for the people. He said, go take some. Morgan was explicit when he played Morgan recording, yeah, if you steal the money, and you build a house in Liberia or whatever, but your road, we know that it's established. It's corrupt, the other people where he knows, the public knows. So we're not taking anything lesson from a guild in terms of propriety, no. And for people to pretend, really pretend, I think that's where being disingenuous extend to being very close to being stupid. Because when the thing is obvious, when the English is there, and people want to pretend it's an education thing, or other people think they're more educated. No, it's not an education thing. It's simple English, it's simple context that Dwalu tried to explain. If you look at the totality of what the president said, it's good to be opposition. It's good to criticize and break down on substance, on major issues, but not on the trivial thing that has no relevance to how we move forward and has no traction. It can't stand. And you want to make it look like it's so rational? No. That means you're telling the people who got even small sense that is stupid. In that case, you are the one who are stupid when you try to interpret something that's obvious to me. Okay? And stupid is not an insult. Anybody can look at the word in the dictionary. Stupid is not an insult. Some people are sensitive, so they may take stupid to be an insult, but it's not. It's when you act a certain way that's out of order, that's stupidity. So it's very, very clear to me what this represents is clear to anybody who is willing to be open to this kind of statement. Now, like Donald said, if you want to argue, encouragement was not applying to remaining corrupt and steal money. No, encouragement was applying to using the money for our people. So it's just sad that we have to discuss this, but I think I will rest on this and I will transition to church and pray for the idiocy to be removed from the minds of our people, the understanding of English to be proper, that most students can probably read, hopefully better will understand that they can pass the WASH exam, because somebody was saying it. Maybe that's one of the reasons why we do so poorly. The way we comprehend things. It's just one track, narrow. And we need to enlighten our minds. We can't let politics overtake us to the point that the obvious is being misinterpreted purposely to decry the people in leadership or in political opposition. So I thank you. I really appreciate this platform. It gives us the opportunity to share our thoughts. And it's good for people to disagree. It's good for people to have their own opinion. We don't have a problem with that. You know, it's good for like some of the people in the audience to insult any of the panelists the way they want. That's part of being in the public space. You know, you got to accept that. But we appreciate the platform. We appreciate sharing whatever knowledge we think we are imparting to our people. And it's up to them to either receive it or to reject it. That's all part of this kind of public stand. Thank you.
Thank you, Alva. The Bible never, Jesus Christ never said that if you're stupid, treat me how people can treat stupid people. Nowhere in the Bible you will find that. You are lying on the Bible. Your interpretation of the Bible is wrong.
Well, you know the Bible. I'll give you the
We have Dr. Bople here who studied the Bible very well. And you don't do this. It's not a joke. If you want to put out those lies and think that you are too intelligent, then do it somewhere else, but don't lie on the Bible. May God forgive you. The issue that you come on the show every evening to lie and say you're talking about Bible and people stupid, it's just childish. Because we know the reason why Abba is protecting, because you're getting 95,000 consultancy. But we'll discuss that later.
Wow. Did you hear that, guys? It's a story here. Two sides of the story. Francis is not going to say anything. Paul, I want to go to Bakri and Siddiqui. That's the voice of Ava Topa. If you just listen to it, if you just join at the time where the video, the audio was playing, it was he was on a spoon talk, and he was reacting to the interpretations of what people interpreted as the person's statement. So he came back to react. So, and this is where the statement came from, that was Ava Topa. So, and this is sorry, but what do you guys think, Paul and Siddiqui? I think this is what Francis been saying. People misunderstood what the president said, and Ava is also leading to this direction, saying you did not understand the interpretation. It means something different. Do you agree, guys?
Siddiqui, go first, and I'll follow.
Okay, Ava, the big brother, we worked together during the last election. He was the chief of staff to Mr. Cummings, and I managed one of the ANC or CPP pro media during the well in Liberia, and so we worked very close together. It's just so unfortunate, you know, Ava today is defending everything, you know, he was against yesterday. At some point, some of us think that maybe because of some personal issue he had with the CDC and George Weah, that's why he was vocal. But initially, we are, you know, maybe the first 3 to 4 months during the Weah presidency, Abba used to be a consultant to MCC, to Jefferson Koji. And what happened, what not happened, you know, Abba left and went to the US. And he was vocal about the government then, you know, until he declared his support for Mr. Cummings. He came to Liberia, and he was the chief of staff. And, you know, they published a book that one Emmanuel wrote in the US. And that's how Mr. Cummings asked him to resign. And he went, and later on he came back. So I'm saying this to say that, you know, it has been alleged that Abba is doing some consultancy work at the Labrador Water and Sewer for Mo Ali, currently in this UP government. And obviously, Abba will not come and speak the reality, be very objective, and I respect him. That's his opinion. But for him to say that the rest of the people who disagree with his interpretation of the president's statement and refer to them as being stupid, that where for me my disappointment comes in. You have your right, you work in the government, you're serving as a consultant, whatever it is, but you don't control other people's opinion the same way other people don't control your opinion. You make your statement, you interpret the president's statement, that is okay, that is how you see it to be. Yeah, but when other people give that interpretation and you come and say they are stupid, they can't comprehend, they need to read with comprehension and all of that, for me it's very unfortunate. And I will just give the time to my brother Paul to chip in.
Yeah. Thank you, Sidiki. I'll put this up here. The English language there is simple. I think those in that went to demonstration elementary school can read this and understand it with simple understanding. We want to encourage those who want to remain corrupt and steal money. Simple English. The president who spoke this language, he went to CWA, the prestigious school, the kind of language he learned. I don't think Ava who talk, he learned the kind of language that old man learned. This is simple elementary English. There's no interpretation. There is no slip of tongue here. It's correct English the old man spoke. Then he break it down in Nigerian language. I beg, all the money should be used to bless our people. That is straightforward English language. There is no if but about it. Simple English. It's no big jargon in it. It's just simple elementary English here. So if people feel they want to spin it the way they want to spin it, that's fine. But the president spoke simple elementary language here, and every Liberian understood exactly what he's saying. And that's why he have encouraged me to go contest for the senatorial seat in 2029. And my message is I'm going in a house to steal from the people and bring it to you because the president encouraged us all to steal. That's the message. Simple.
Okay, Francis, thank you very much. Francis, is that what the interpretation you're looking at? Or you got different look at it from what Agva said regarding the president's statement? Because he also said that people don't understand, and you interpret it different. Is it what do you understand, or do you agree with what Agva said?
I mean, first of all, I think it's very disingenuous for people to characterize Ava as being self-seeking because he spoke. On the contrary, that he does some consultancy work for the government is reason why Ava has been very vocal on the spoon talk. Over the period of time. It just happened that he sees how people are trying to screw the president's statement, contextualize it into their own, slogan, the way they want to see it, and based on politics. As my colleague said, Paul says there's simple English. It is simple English. It's very simple English. I don't know how people twisting it around. It's so simple and clear. I beg you, I encourage you to use the poor money for the country money for the people. What it is not to, what's the rationale? I mean, how can we not think? How can we not learn logic? Come on, logic in it. And so I said this is a waste of time. If people are from different political persuasions, I don't know, interpreting it the way they see it. And I heard on this show tonight that the president came out to make some clarification. I don't know how true is it.
No, there was a release from the Israeli Marshal that made a rebuttal to the statement or clarify on the issues. That was
Yeah,
it was
I thought the president himself spoke.
no, I think there was a
Already,
clarification on the issue from the office of the president. That's what we
so I don't know
anyway.
how Charles seen it, but it's,
Let's
the
look. You
president.
know why we are discussing this? Because he's the highest main. He runs the highest office in the country, and statement of such coming from. I don't care how you understand that. What do you call it? Francis. People are saying, well, the way you see it, the way you interpret it, and people seeing it different. And people say you should have said it the other way around, saying let's discourage those who corrupt, not to steal our money, and we should bring those
Look,
who are corrupt to justice. So that's what
it's not the president. It's not the president fault if people have a one track mind of thinking how people want English to be used.
but he
Come
should be
on.
how you make public utterances. That's
If
what
we
they're
have
saying.
a one track mind, a one track mind of a one track way of interpreting and expecting English to be, spoken at the level we want it to be spoken, then there's a problem we have. We all went to tertiary, most of acquired tertiary education here, and the young man is going to university. So there are critical thinking, critical issues that you need to take into consideration. It's just simple. How you interpret it. It is what it is. The president was not encouraging people to steal.
All right, then. That's a fair argument here. I want to just, if you just joining us and watching, we're just discussing the recent statement made by the president in Lofa County regarding encourage corrupt people to remain. How do you say that again? Paul, can you repeat that?
The thing, I'll put it up here.
Yeah, he said, put it out, read it. That's what the president said. He said, we want to encourage those who want to remain corrupt and steal money. I beg you, I beg all your money should be used for the benefit to bless our people. This is why we're trying to analyze these are the statement of our political leaders. So now, when they're in office, what they say, is it something they didn't mean something different, or are they saying the reality? So this is what we're looking at tonight. But anyway, we're going to go to another statement made in 2022, somewhere around 2022, made by one of our political leaders at the time, was Minister of Presidential Affairs. Is Mr. Honorable Nathaniel McGay. Paul, we want to run the video and let's see what he said that year and how you guys look at it today. Paul.
Okay.
I can't be home. One can do the best. So I'm going to tell you money I carry Ghana, correct? But one can get it on me. I will take it from you, Gary. Then I'll leave it. Yes. The day God take me, I will carry her with me. Our grandchildren will kind of see the ones there, but what kind of looking for? They go book power on there. So these are the things we'll be doing. So I just want to say thank you for doing what he's doing. What the young man doing, he's just doing part. One day will not be represented.
So that was it. Now, did you get a video clear? Did you get the words? Boy, I didn't think you start from the beginning. It was somewhere in the middle. Will you replay that video, please, for the benefit of our audience?
We can replay this.
Yeah, from the start.
The phone take all the phone money. But if I've seen the money, I get it. I bring for a good thing. Because Ali and I see them carrying it in Europe. Some point in the country, all government are in eligible interest. That's the money. But we tell how money the school will get, we'll go to our people there and go pay for the school best. I can't pay how one can do the best. So I'm going to tell you money I carry Ghana, correct? But one can get it on me. I will take it from you, Gary. Then I'll leave it. Yes. The day God take me, I will carry her with me. Our grandchildren will kind of see the ones there, but what kind of looking for? They go book power on there. So these are the things we'll be doing. So I just want to say thank you.
Okay. Now the question is, I want to go back to Francis. Oh no, sorry, Francis. Tell me what do you see in the statement?
Francis is frozen. Oh,
okay.
While Francis is frozen, there's few people. Can you recognize them, please?
Who?
We've got a few people following us.
Yeah, we'll go there. Let me, Francis, to comment. Francis, do you care to comment about this statement made by the Honorable Minister at the time? Do you have to say something about this statement? What do you see in this statement?
Look, McGee is an indictee, convict He was not convicted in court, but he's indicted, and we have seen evidence of what he owned over the period of time, the short time he assumed the office of the minister as Minister of State, from rag to riches overnight. So I mean, my gay, I mean, he's a bona fide thief.
But
You
he's
know, I
not
mean,
been,
we see it.
he has not been, how do you call it? How do you say that? He has not been found guilty in
He's
it before.
not been found guilty, but we see the properties
So,
that he owned over the period of time.
so why
In
are
six
you
months,
allegedly,
properties they owned.
allegedly,
It
or you
was
saying
like
you're confirmed
so.
that he's a thief? That's why. But do you understand that he said if if I were to steal money, the word proposition if. Did you hear that?
Mhm.
Why are you not taking
Even
that
that
into consideration? If I were to
the,
steal the
the,
money, he did not say I'm
uh
stealing money. So do you understand that? There's a
yeah,
proposition in that
the
statement.
conjunction. I mean, the conjunction he used, the
Mm,
word he used, if even
mm,
at the point in time,
mm.
you know, it presupposes that I mean, he was involved in corruption. He stole money.
So what makes it different from the president's statement then? Because you said
The
the president said
president, the
in his
president is
story.
discouraging both from stealing, and Magay is giving himself relevance after saying that he stole money and he was using the money for the people.
Okay, then
Two
I'll
different
put
people,
it in a poll. Let's
two
before I go,
different
Siddiqui, I want you to help me to read. There's some comment from one of our viewers or followers. So you want to read that for me, please, if you get it from your end. Then we'll go to Paul and make a comment on it. Francis has made his point. What do you see there? Go on, Siddiqui.
I'm not saying a comment. I don't know if you can highlight it. I'm not saying
All
a
right.
comment here.
Can you
Is
read
that a,
out here, please? And who is here from? Who's saying this comment?
You
this
said?
one from Benno, Washington? When
It's a Benedict
CDC made the similar
Washington.
statement,
Oh, I think you have a difficulty reading from it. Are you okay there, Siddiqui? I think it's frozen.
Yes, I'm okay, but I'm not seeing a comment on my screen.
All right, then I'll read it from this end. It said this is from Bindo Tuna, Griffey, Washington. She said when CDC made a similar statement, UP went mine. Now, we should excuse them. That's the question. Then another one came again. Said, where's another one? Yes, your explanation. It is as responding to Francis' explanation, sir. Your explanation falls very short. Now, he has already made clarification on that statement from McGill. I want Siddiqui to look at that comment and tell me if what, because you can say Francis outrightly say that this guy's a thief. He's before he made that statement, he was already accused. He's not yet convicted, but he's considered to be a thief because he's been sanctioned. He was sanctioned as one of those sanctioned by for the U.S. government for some corrupt acts and stuff like that. So, but does that qualify that he's a thief because he never had a days in court? Siddiqui, what do you think?
Oh, well, about my guest statement that he made years ago, it's not different from what the president made a few days ago. I think when I was giving my opinion, I made a reference to McGill's statement because they are, but if we want to come and give justification, and want to interpret who is actually encouraging stealing and corruption, then I would say it's Joseph Boakai. Because President Boakai did not use if. He said, we encourage corrupt government officials. Please, if you steal the money, but then even if said, he said, when you steal the money, use it for our people, to bless our people. But Mangil is using if. You understand? But at the end of the day, all of them, they are encouraging corruption. And for me, what I take from Mangil video is that the people who are sitting there and Mangil asking them, if I steal money, I can't pay house, hey, for Bongate, and then they are there saying yes. How can Mangil personal house be for you and your children? How is that? How does that make sense? But again, it comes down to what? Ignorance. These are the people who vote in elections. You say that somebody come and tell you, say, "Well, steal money and pay us if all of you in the country say yes, that." It's very, very unfortunate. Yes, I listened to the statement few years ago, but the way the video is played now, where the people, Mangi is asking the people, "Want build a horse, want pass away with my children car," and they kind of say that farm horse there. Yeah, but it does not belong to the people. The house is for you and your family. That's the reality. They themselves, they are there to say yes to everything Mangi is saying. So that just shows you the kind of voters, the kind of people we have, that participate in our election. But for me, the president's statement, Mangi's statement, they are the same. But if people really want to come and justify, President Bouaka is more flourishing corruption than Mangi. That's
Okay.
my opinion.
Paul, before Paul coming, I want to welcome a few people that just made a reaction. This is Bendu Ntoman, Gwefi, Washington, David G. Banja, Mamudu Ori, Raphael Jallo, meaning poor. Once a welcome, thanks for joining us. Wherever you join us, I want always to share the show. We are here Tuesday and Fridays, and this is the last Friday of December. We'll be here, so we want to encourage you not to sleep, but to join us on next Tuesday as well. We'll be discussing issues on Liberia. Paul, what do you think about Magi's statement?
You see, the comparison with both, my conclusion is both of them encourage stealing. Because Magi said, if I steal and bring the money here or build a house, any house within the process, yes. So he used the word if, and the president said, I encourage. So one is using encourage and one is using if. So both of them, Magi, from his statement, like there's somebody pointing finger at him that he's already corrupt. He been accused. He been what? Sanctioned for corruption. So he's telling his people, if I stole money, I'll come Bon County and build a house. Any money remains here. So in my defense, he was defending himself for something that he been accused of until he get a day in court before we know that Magi is actually guilty of the crime he created. But being house does not qualify Magi that Magi is a thief. Now, if we want to match that with, then I can go back to the president. Inaugural funds on a Miata family, it was mismanaged. The president told us they were going to investigate. There's no investigation up to now. You remember the story? We know that the central bank governor was silent because of the other report that he was corrupt. They got someone there acting. We don't know the outcome. Steve Zago, immigration boss, was suspended for 3 months for corruption. We're still waiting for the details. The situation that happened be mounting with corruption and people got killed. We're still waiting for an investigation. Then we know that the president own people he appointed are LTA. One of them getting gasoline 3,000 to fuel generator. That is corruption to the highest. So this president is now telling us, now, before we go to Alalole buses and then go to the $85 million yellow machine, all of those things that surrounding, then I will take you to the $22 million road maintenance fund that this house have to pardon the minister. That is all corruption. So when the president said, I encourage corruption, he only telling his cycle, yes, you go and steal, but don't take it out. Use it and bless the people. That would be my interpretation, and so we can interpret it where we want to interpret it. Because there's a lot of corruption in this government, and the president now has electing it boldly that yes, you go and steal more, and that's what encouraging me now, who never thought of working for Liberia government. It encouraged me now to go in there too and steal, because my president have said you come and steal. That's a simple interpretation.
Yeah, okay, Paul. But what you just said before, I gave some. I think Francis would like to react on that statement. But what I want to let you also know that the president set up committees, bodies to investigate all these things you're talking about. You could say the government could say we are waiting for the findings to come out. Until then, we have no comprehensive report yet. That could be
So
another excuse.
and
President could
I
say.
agree. So if we marching this with Maggie until Maggie go to court too. So you see, so both of them encouraging corruption. That's the point I'm making.
Francis, what is your take on what Paul is saying? You say the leadership is corrupt. They are not giving funding on those information. Their bodies, they set up some investigative committees to investigate things he listed. The inaugural committee funding is not out yet. If it's out, we don't know about it. The Alosh, you're saying that the governor of the central bank was suspended for giving out loans, not to acknowledge. I mean, loans without knowledge of the government. Whoever the case, he's been sidelined. And the LT people as well. Say people are taking up how much money they're taking, and many other things just landed. So, are you saying that? Well, but do you agree that there's a corruption in this government? Before I go further, Francis, is the government corrupt?
I mean, these are assertions made, unsubstantiated, assertions made by people, saying that the government is corrupt. We have never seen any no report actually indicting these people for corruption. In fact, as a matter of fact, investigations takes some time to have the findings come about. So, well, although it may not be at the pace we want the investigations to be concluded, but it takes time for these things to be investigated, and the conclusion, I mean, is gathered and ready to be published. So,
Right.
in short, I mean, these are just allegations made, unsubstantiated allegations made, that that the government is corrupt and people siphoning money. The minister of public works came on various talk shows and categorically rejected these statements, and he provided evidence to that effect. So yeah, so that's it. I see it, and I think that these are facts, hardcore facts that we should not turn to politicize it.
Okay. Siddiqui is based. Siddiqui over tonight. If you just join us, Siddiqui is talking to us live from Kigali, the capital of Rwanda. Siddiqui, I want you to tell us what lesson can we learn from Rwanda with this situation, like you just been analyzing. I know you've been somebody who's been following politics. With these statements, do you see public officials making the utterances and giving some excuses, or how do they look at corrupt politicians, or what do they talk about politics? How does it look like Rwanda compared to Liberia, Siddiqui?
Well, first of all, if you're asking the questions for what we can learn from Rwanda, one of the things I would suggest is we being able to at least introduce, e-government system in Liberia. So when we say e-government system, what we're simply trying to say is trying to, use technology in terms of maybe, making most payment to most government agency. Because if you use technology to do payment, you minimize corruption. And that's one of the things that I've been able to, to eradicate our country, the lack of corruption, the increase and, the everyday corruption and other stuff. When you go to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to get a passport, maybe ordinary passport, you're supposed to pay $50, but somebody will tell you, saying you want it quick, bring $80, you give it to them. But if you are paying through a digital platform, forget it, the system will capture that, and that person will be questioned. Passport is not $50. Why is this person paying $80? So now, if you come here in Rwanda, even in the market when you go to go buy pepper, since I came in the country, the only time I hold money in cash in my hand when somebody send me money through bank, and when I hold it, after leaving the bank, I go and put it on my mobile. Everything you do in this country it's on Momo money. Even you go in the market to go buy pepper, you pay through Momo. You want to apply for your visa as a student, or as someone who is here maybe on a visiting stop or maybe tourism, whatever it is, you apply for visa through paying Momo. Everything you do here. And so that help to minimize the corruption in Rwanda. And that's one of the things the people have been able to do. Because money come with its own spirit. The fact that in Liberia, you can just go anywhere you change money. Every money changes are everywhere. But yeah, if you're going to go change money, the first thing they ask you, maybe Port have come to change money from Siliki Kroma. I'm going to ask Port where is your passport? They want to get your passport before they even change any money from you. Just so they be able to trace it in case of any fraud or any other stuff. So that's one of the things we can learn to introduce e-learning system or e-government system in our governance in Liberia. And also, whatever I will outline here, it boils down to what? Good leadership, visionary leader. You know, Basically on the overhaul, I think we Liberians, we should look out. We have the best of best in our country. Point in time, some of the people who come, the way we treat them, the other people who are even better than those people, they get afraid because the way John Brown is being treated, simply because of his expertise, of his knowledge, and he had volunteered to come and help the country. And so they kind of wonder have been able to get for themselves and the support from the people. I just told you that there was an election recently in one. People are different. I tell you that government officials, people who are appointed by this president here, they came out and said they're contesting against the man, but they never lost that position. They were running campaign. People the man himself appointed to be ministers, they were the one contesting against President Paul Kagame. And then they had the election, no confusion, nothing. At the end of the day, there was a winner, and they go back to start a. The support from the people of Rwanda is not one person thing. And initially we all lost the election. We were supporting the CPP, Mr. Cummings. And when the election finished, right after the first round, we did not make it to the second round. So, look, based on principle and other stuff, I cannot support Joseph Baka because I don't trust him. I cannot support WIA because of the kind of leadership he has shown over the last 6 years. And so I'm going to be neutral because the same blaming game we on today, I'm going to say I'm supporting Baka, and then but now I've lost my voice. So we stay neutral. But at the end of the day, our brother and fellow panelists and the listening audience, what we're trying to say here is that when a new government comes to power, you see, since after the election, Mr. Cummings have not been able to be speaking because what? Every time Mr. Cummings, you speak with him behind closed doors, he will tell you, let's give the administration an opportunity. But the other people, they are not doing that. They were there for 6 years, and they spent 6 years in power. Unity Party come to power, they didn't even spend 6 months. The things CDC did not do, they started putting pressure on Unity Party. You don't build a
Okay, Sidiki, I was just telling you to compare what's happening right now. We'll go to that. That's a different discussions. Thank you for going that level. I just want you to, okay, I just want you to tell me a little bit about corrupt leaders. Do you see anything in the newspaper on the news there in our country about how do you, like somebody being sacked for corruptions or they've been, reports, there was a corruption here, the report take years before it comes out. Findings take years to come out. Like my colleague just said, it's just space of time. It could take a long time before the result of the finding comes out. I'm just wanting to say something about that, if you know anything of such in Rwanda.
Well, what I would say is that in Rwanda here, the institution, like for example, the way we have LACC in Liberia, they have corruption institution here. And if I tell you that there's no corruption here, I'll be lying to you. But the fact of the matter is that whenever there's a corruption case here, the perpetrators, the victims, the people who committed, they pay for it. And they are brought to book because they have a system that will track it and they will bring you down, they will find you and they will prosecute you, they will disgrace you. That's the difference. But Liberia, you have a corruption case there. You have the LSCC. LSCC will say, this man is involved in a corrupt activity. Let's invite this man. And then because the man is from CDC, the man put the CDC behind him. They make it all of politics. So that's the difference. You see? So institutions in Liberia, they're not independent. Everybody want to push politics into, people work, people who are at LACC or other, maybe, let's look at what happened recently at the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court made a ruling, people who are not lawyers, they started interpreting the Supreme Court ruling. And then at the end of the day, the ruling the Supreme Court made, or the ruling the Supreme Court gave, did not reflect the actual reality. So that's the difference from Rwanda and Liberia. If something happened here, I think I explained my own experience to you, where I made a mistake and paid money to a wrong number. At the end of the day, I got my money back. If someone is found in corrupt activity here, that person can be brought to book because of the kind of system they have.
Okay. Right. Okay. Paul, before I think we got about 10 more minutes before round up from here. Before I go, you guys to give your last comment on this. I want to go back to I want to stay Francis, do you hear me?
You breaking.
Right. Okay. I think
No, Jamal, you have problem. You need to come back, say something again so we can hear you.
I just said I'm not breaking. I hear you. I hear you. I heard Sidiki very well. I was just saying, Francis, do you want to comment on this? Lars, you want to make a comment on this? What Sidiki just said regard to the issue? So before, because you kind of like understanding what the president said, you interpreting different. Sidiki and Paul on the same side. So I want to be balanced here. What do you think? But before I say something, Bendu just responded to your comments, Francis. This is what she said. What I meant is you cannot say we should give credence to what Maggie said because he was indicted, not to what the president said because he has not. What was spoken was spoken. I know we don't want to go back and forth, but it just to give you the right to comment on it. If you don't want to, it's up to you, Francis.
Yeah, everybody. The viewers and the Polynesians are subjected to the views.
Okay.
I don't think it's befitting to comment on what Let's move on.
Okay. Paul, I want to say before I go forward to Paul, I know I want to make your last comment on this issue regard to Maggie. I think you spoke about Maggie. You have not spoken about Maggie comment, have you, Paul?
I did.
Okay. Now, how I want to go around. How do we make sure these presidents or the political leaders, not presidents, our political leaders, our leaders, offenses are well crafted in a way that we understand they're speaking kind of certain tones or what you want to call it? Because it seems to be that the president some years back, when he was vice president, running a campaign, he said during the runoff, what did he say? He said if this election is weak, there will be no Liberia. I think he said something like that. And that interpretation went it was a wildfire. If this election is rigged, there will be no Liberia. That will be the end of Liberia. Something he said. But then people say he was misinterpreted. And there's another one again saying today about encourage, steal, and this thing. So what do we do to our leaders, the statement they make, so they shouldn't be questioned on these things? They should be very responsible in that statement. I think instead of us struggling to understand these grammar, because most of us here are not native English speakers. But someone have to kind of explain to what does that mean? And the person can say, this is not what I meant. So, but how do we make our leaders, our politicians, our how do you say that? People to make some statement that we can make it clear. Or the person has not made any statement. He has not come back to retract. He left it with his office to make a rebuttal or to react to the story, not retract, to react to the story. So what we expect? Do you expect this is not what I meant? This is I meant to say this because it's the people president. Do we expect him to say that, gentlemen? I'll start with Sidiki. Do you expect the president to come and say, but this thing has gone so far? People don't understand what I was trying to say. This is what I meant to say. But he's not saying anything. Only the office of the president make a press release about what he was saying. So is he still old Liberian people an explanation?
Oh, well, regarding for me, I think
regarding the statement going around that being misinterpreted.
Yeah, you getting me?
Yeah, I'm getting you.
Okay. So basically, once the president's office issue a statement, that means the president has clarified. Because
Okay.
the president's office would not issue a statement without the president's knowledge. And so I'm very sure the president is aware that the office issue a clarification, show that the office consulted the president because the people who work at the office of the president, they work for the president. And so the president speak to, every time the president will not come and just be speaking on the radio or in the media. For me, I give that credit to him. They make a clarification. That's okay. And we move on. And regarding the campaign statement that you referenced, my brother, what I was saying is that there are just certain things we can control. Like you talk about what are something that we can do to avoid our leader speaking. The way Siliki is, you can control how I act, how I speak. A Siliki Koma is Siliki Koma, and the president was clear. So many years this president had been in, and so this was his last chance. And what the president said during the campaign, the president meant what he said. If the election results are going to go contrary, there's going to be serious issue in Liberia, because the president and the Unity Party folks, felt that they were going to be cheated. But thank God the election was peaceful. But there's just certain things we don't have. How you speak, how I speak, and that's why the voters should be informed. They should be aware of people they support. You don't want to support someone who will just come today and just make a statement that does not fit the kind of principle that you set. And most of the voters in Liberia said it in terms of how they vote. There's no principle. Once you come, people even threaten you to not vote for you because you don't give them t-shirt and flyers. My brother Paul Chiropi was in Liberia. You saw it. The threaten say, I'm not voting for you because you're not giving me a flyer, a t-shirt. So there's no principle. So at the end of the day, the kind of leaders we see, look at the legislature. Some of the people we see at the House of Representatives. Some of the people we see at the House of Senate. Just watch some of them when they are speaking. When people go for confirmation hearing, see the kind of questions they be asking. And just to close on this, I just want to draw your attention to this. Recently, there were two ambassadors destined to the United States. One was Louis Brown, and the other was one Professor Conte. And then this old man went in the Senate chamber. He made an unrealistic statement. And
Which old man?
nobody in
Is
the
it Hassan Conte or Louis Brown? Which one?
Conte,
Okay.
who is, I think he work at the University of Liberia.
He's the acting president of the University of Liberia right now. Yeah.
Al Hassan.
Exactly. He made an unrealistic statement, my brother. How can you say when you are ambassador to the US, you will encourage American students to come to school in Liberia? What sense does that make? And you have senators in the chamber. They can't even question him. What do you mean? It doesn't make sense. It's just that President Barack coming and telling people, say, I will bring 283 yellow machines. And Liberians too, they celebrating. What sense does that make? That someone who have taken a country that was broken, according to them, they said CDC broke the country down. But in less than 6 months, you bring in 287 or 83 yellow machine or 85 yellow machine. Very unrealistic.
Yeah,
So
but it
that's
was given to as a gift. They said so. The song gave it as a gift. It's not possible.
It's not a gift.
if it's a-
I know. That's the one to go. I think you go on. Sorry, go on.
Let me conclude. If actually it was a gift, why is it that the first batch of machines that arrive in the country, they are parking at the barrel, they have not been used, and the rest of the machines are yet to arrive in the country? So it's a flag. It's very, very unrealistic. So that's the same way Professor Conte's statement, it makes no sense. The man said, I'm quoting from him, that we are going to encourage American students to come to Liberia to study. What? Are you killing me? And so this is just to tell you that the kind of people we elect, and we have to start thinking differently, setting standards, setting principles for ourselves, and asking these people the hard questions. Until then, we will continue to come on social media, on radio station, and continue to talk after every election. And the country will be stuck at the same position from time to time.
Thank you, Paul.
Well, Jamal, what can I say? You ask a question, whether the president should be managed. No, the president cannot be managed. The reason why I'm saying the president cannot be managed, you see, is the highest seat of the land. If you, for my old man Boyka, for example, that have over 45 years of experience, governmental experience, 12 years of vice president, he understands exactly. He's not somebody that will be managed. So you see, I'm going to compare him to Joe Biden because there are two Joes. Joe Biden in the States, the American use the word say gaff. He always says things and then they go and say, oh, we'll clarify it. And this is similar pattern we are seeing in Liberia. As a leader, you already been made as a leader. That's why the experience take you to that level. So when you say something as a president, that thing you say it carry weight, no matter how. So you're very careful what you say. And this is why I did a comparison with the situation at the Capitol building. The moment the president spoke, said that hooligans, what was the conclusion? Fire service came out and said, well, arson attack. So when we have that, the whole investigation was then tampered with. So you have to be very careful of what you say. And you have opposition that will pick on you every time you made a gaffe. And this is the situation. It will follow you. And I just want to conclude on something here. During the election, I was in Liberia for 6 months campaigning. And I met a lot of people. We exchanged contact. And during the Christmas period, I had a lot of messages coming in. I said, I'm not going to send money to anyone for Christmas. But this guy, after the thing, they kept calling. So I decided to pick up my call. And I pick up a particular call today from a money changer. The first question he asked me, this guy's strong supporter of Unity Party, carry Unity Party ID card. He promised me in Liberia that Joseph Boyka, President Boyka, will be the President Toba. And if I come to Liberia after 6 months from the performance, he will make me to join Unity Party because what they're going to do, we have never seen it before. So today he called me, he said, hey, okay, that thing embarrassing you. I want to ask you a question. Why Mr. Cummings can't speak? So I said, wait a minute, is that why you called me for? So to ENC people that are watching us, there is a good news for you that people now, United Party saying now, are asking why Mr. Cummings can't speak because they see him as the next alternative. And the young man when we spoke, he said, we don't want George, we are coming back. George, we are there running this campaign about bring our data back and gaining momentum among young people. So because Unity Party saying that they don't want Unity Party after Omer Boyka, they are now asking for comments. And that is a key to this statement that the old man made. It will hunting for years to come, just how it's hunting Nathaniel McGee today, and everybody know he's corrupt. So the $60 million that hunted George Weah, this is in the scenario we have. So that's my point. The fact is the old man needs to, before he speak, he have to be careful wherever he say it carry weight.
Right. Mr. Mensah, a quick question before we wrap up here. I want to just recap here. We just joining us. This is the Born Liberia coming to you live from mainland Europe. And I have my colleagues from Paul, the Lord Children based in London, joining us from all the way from Kigali, Rwanda, Sidiki Kroma. He's joining us tonight, one of our co-hosts tonight, and also a good friend. That's Francis Meno Mansa, who is one of our main guys here from Sweden. We just talk about the lady, the youngest minister in Africa in Botswana, Isigo Chombo, who is now the Minister of Youth and Gender in Botswana. We were encouraging youth to take positions while the government should put a structure in place for youth to take their role, said they are the future leader of tomorrow. So, and also we were going down to some issues with Liberia, the statement made by political leaders, how we were trying to analyze it. Are they reckless with a statement, or they really meant what they're saying? So this is what we look at tonight. If you just don't know, there has been a discussion tonight. I want to say big, before I go to Sam, my colleague again, I mean, I want to say a big thank for those who've been joining us, where you joining us from, where especially for, I got a couple of names I want to call quickly. I got Anthony K. Jr., Anthony K. Colley Jr., got Bintu, Thomas Gracie Washington, David G. Banja, Mamadou Ori, Raphael Jalo, and Minnie Paul, and many others, and also not forgetting, got, okay, who is here again? Shadela Brown, always here. Betaki Zinata, all these are their favorite loyalists, always with us. So once a big thank you for joining us. Always, we're going to be here on Tuesday. We're going to be on Tuesday. That'll be a last show for the year, and we want you to join us and also help to share the show. Now I'll go to my colleague, Mr. Mensa. We are saying that our leaders should be very careful with that statement because it could be misinterpreted. When they made these statements, should they come back and react on it?
Look, we have a society that trash on misinformation, disinformation, and how they miscarry. It's a miscarriage of information, a matter of fact, to put it simply. What I think I would suggest to the president and his psycho media team, and if he has anyone who may do some prep before he goes out to occasions. Sometimes the president speak impromptu, but I think sometimes you need to be guarded, and also to avoid all these situations around. This it takes away some of the credibility of the government. By measure, the president should be very articulate in what he's saying. It shouldn't be ambiguous. His statements shouldn't be subjected to interpretations all the time. That's the president. You should be one of the persons that will convey messages very clear, unambiguous, so that your people will understand. These are not technical issues. These are strictly people to people, person to person's relationship. Just go out and take your time and speak. Sometimes the president make errors. Yeah, we agree. But I think going forward as a president, he should take his time before he speaks out there, because people are just out there waiting for the slightest room to get them to misinterpret or create a political sandwich out of what you say, because the country is polarized. The whole political ecology of the country is as such that people are sitting on the brink of coming back. So the president should actually do that. But it was a good show. I think I remember Siddiqui from the Coastal show with the boy. He appeared one time. I remember that he said he was neutral. He appeared with the kid name that went to Punch FM now. Boyka. I remember that show. I remember that I watched that show. You're supporting commies, and I remember that episode. But it's good meeting you here on this platform. And it was a very, very interesting discussion today. So for me, I have nothing else to add. And it was just important that that we all present our sides, how we see it, how we interpret the president's speech, his statement made. So yeah. But on that note, from my end, I think there'll be my closing. And then say good night to everybody, and thanks for joining.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Once a big thank you to all those who've been sharing us, who've been following us from the day. We've been here for 12 months. About the 31st of December will be our last show for the night. We may be doing a summary of our event for the 2024. I want to say a big thank you to Shadila Brown Chuluplay, Betaki Zenata, Samuel Usain Wuse, and many others that joined tonight that really share the show and they follow us. We want you to be with us on Tuesday. We'll be here and bring you another exciting and trending issues from Liberia and also around the world. I want to say a big thank you to Sidiki from all the way Kigali for joining us tonight. Sidiki, thank you for joining us. Don't be a stranger. We want to have you every now and then. And not forgetting our good man who's the president of the Republic called Europe, Liberia Republic in Europe, Mr. Francis Mona Mensah. And our good friend, that's the Lord Cholople, the friend of King Charles based in London. And my name is Jamal Kamara. I want to say a big thank you and thanks for spending the evening with us. And Merry Christmas. I want to wish you a happy and a prosperous 2025. I want to take this time to say, have a lovely evening.
Thank you.